This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
Having trouble losing weight despite trying every diet on the market? In the morning, do you drag yourself out of bed and wonder how you will accomplish everything on your to-do list? Afternoon caffeine or sugary snacks are your quick pick-me-ups? By conquering abdominal bloating, Rachel helps women over 40 feel confident, slim, and fabulous in their skin without feeling deprived. Using simple, fun, sustainable, and easy to implement dietary, lifestyle, and mindset techniques, you will conquer abdominal bloating and feel your best again. Valeria interviews Rachel Lank. She is a dedicated and experienced registered nurse with an impressive career spanning over 3 decades. Throughout her journey, she has gained extensive expertise in the medical specialty of gut health. During this time, she saw how gut diseases and disorders negatively impacted the lives of her patients, while at the same time experiencing her own gut disorders. Over the years, Rachel grew weary of the bandaid, fixes, and the roller coaster ride of medical tests, prescription drugs, and elimination diets, giving her only partial relief of her symptoms. She wanted relief all the time, not just sometimes. With this determination, she went on a quest to get her gut well through dietary and lifestyle modifications. With this approach, she found lasting relief, optimal wellness, and enjoyment of life again. Her deep passion for helping others, along with her certified health and life coach training, led her to transition into the role of gut health coach. With bloating as a common denominator of the gut disorders in her patients and herself, she chose to specialize in helping women over 40 conquer their abdominal and get their gut well so they can enjoy life again. Beyond her professional life, Rachel enjoys taking long walks along the beach, fishing, and spending time with her family and friends. Meet Rachel at flgutz.com. Here's the interview with Rachel Lank.
In your own words, who am I speaking with today?
Well, I'm Rachel Lank. I'm a registered nurse and gut health coach, and I'm passionate about everything with gut health. I am really passionate about helping others get their gut well, because getting your gut well leads to optimal overall health. I'm also a wife, married to my soulmate. I'm a mom of 4 wonderful children and a Gigi to 4 wonderful grandkids, with 1 on the way. I love the outdoors and just feeling the sun on my face and the breeze blowing through my hair. And pretty much I like to have fun in just about everything I do. So I live life with that perspective. You know, life is short and I want to enjoy and have fun in every moment I can.
What is life to you?
Well, life to me is a series of hills and valleys. And we're either in the valley or we're on top of the hill, or in the process of walking through or going through, into the valley and up the hill, or on the hill and into the valley. In other words, this too shall pass, whether it's life is going along beautifully for you, or whether life is throwing you some obstacles and challenges and times to grow. And life is just meant to be lived. And I like to live it being the best that I can be, the best version of myself. and being the light for others, even if I'm in the valley, because when I'm in the valley, that is when I grow and I can I can walk through it and become stronger.
What do you think is the opposite of life?
That would be living in denial, which I did for a number of years in my life, in my younger life. And I don't do that now. Back in 2009, I went through a great transition in my life, and it was scary, but it was time to go. I was living in denial. And then even a few years later, I was in another area of denial in my life, and I tended to get into toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, romantic relationships, which there were red flags everywhere, and I chose to just live in denial and act as if. And I don't do that anymore. I realized with my own growth that I wanted to seek the truth. So I prayed to see the truth. And boy, did the truth come to me. And it was painful. But I can say today that life is beautiful. And I'm living the kind of life God meant for me to live.
What is the purpose of the human experience?
To love God and to love others. To have courage to change the things I can in my life. To serve others and to be a beacon of light that attracts others to love God and love others.
At this time, what is the purpose of your life?
Well, this time I have a deep desire, passion, almost an urging feeling inside of me to share the word and the benefits of getting your gut well, because the gut is connected to so much of your health, be it your emotional healing or emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. And I think there is still a lot of education to give around this. And that is what I feel like is my purpose right now. And so my outreach for this, to get this message across, to share with others if they so choose to listen, of course it's their choice, is through my company, Florida Guts. And I'm all about getting your gut well. I also have, Facebook pages, Florida Guts, and then where I can share this message too. And I speak on this message as well. But basically, my purpose, and I'm focused on women 40 and older, to conquer their abdominal bloat and slim their waistline so they can feel fabulous and confident in any outfit they have on. And all this without feeling deprived of their favorite foods. So this is how I get my message across, because most people, I find, it's easier for them to identify with some of their symptoms, and one of them being bloating, or wanting to feel fabulous in any outfit they have on. But in the process, I'm going to help them get their gut well, which is going to lead to optimal health.
What are some of the greatest misconceptions about happiness, in your opinion?
I would say having physical possessions will make you happy. In my opinion, that is a misconception. I've had, in years past in my life, I've had a lot of things, possessions, and I wasn't very happy. And I'm of now, in 2009, like I spoke before, I had to start my life over. And I left my house, kind of had to flee my house with little to nothing. And I found that less is better, because I had less and I was in a much better place. And as the years have gone on, I've realized I had a lot of things in my life, which kept me very busy taking care of and tending to those things, objects, possessions. And when I have less, I have more time for what's important to me. For instance, my spiritual time, spending time with my family, my grandkids, my friends, walking on the beach, connecting with nature and God.
What do you love most about being in a human body?
Oh, I think the human body is just fascinating. How the human body was all put together is absolutely amazing to me. And I love that the human body is a reflection of how we take care of ourselves and how we nurture ourselves.
What is healing to you?
Well, again, healing to me is nurturing yourself, whether that's with food, whether that's with movement and exercise, whether that's spending time doing some of your favorite activities. Of course, being spiritual too, having a relationship with God as you understand Him, and just nurturing yourself in a way that you enjoy is fun, but you also have time for rest and being outdoors and in natures. And just taking one day at a time, being here and now.
What is the meaning of freedom to you? What is to be free?
When I think of the word freedom, I think of the word safe. There was a time in my life when, with that unhealthy relationship and with other unhealthy relationships, that I didn't feel safe. And that's a very scary feeling. That is not a feeling of freedom. Always looking over your shoulder or being cautious in what you're doing. Or even having to walk on eggshells when you're around certain people in your life and not being able to be authentic and genuinely you. And I don't do that anymore. I am genuine, and I don't walk on eggshells around those that I am with. And allowing others to live the life they choose is also freedom. I don't have to agree with the type of life they choose. And they are them own selves. They have their own higher power, per se, whatever that looks like to them, or God. And freedom to me means living and let live.
What is your understanding and idea of love?
To have peace with yourself and others. You know, I can choose to love others, but not necessarily like them or like the type of life they live. I can choose, though, how I'd like to interact with them or not interact with them and set boundaries. It's just to live and to let live, like I said before.
What is inner peace to you?
That would be serenity. Serenity is inner peace to me. It's so valuable to me. As I've mentioned before, I've been in toxic relationships, and in 2009 and then again in 2016, I chose a different path and broke free. And before then, I didn't have serenity, and that actually wasn't even part of my vocabulary back then, the word serenity. I didn't even know I didn't have it. And I now have serenity, and I work really hard, but to keep my serenity, and I can recognize it when life happens and things happen where perhaps my serenity may slip from me. But because I have the gift of recognition, I know that, it's time to reel it back in. Or maybe perhaps I'm getting myself into somebody else's business, and that's stealing my serenity. So I pull back a little bit, I have this saying, stay inside my hula hoop. And that helps to protect my serenity. Because like I said, it's a very valuable asset to me.
What, where, and who is God to you?
I have so much to say about that, but let's just say this. God is my waymaker. He's my light in the darkness and my miracle worker. God is always present with me and supporting me through those hills and valleys of life that I spoke of earlier. And sometimes he's carrying me, whether he's walking by my side and holding my hand or carrying me through the dark times of my life, which I call the muck, kind of like a swamp. He was carrying me through those, and I was able to get to the green pastures. And I share with others that God, he turned beauty from the ashes out of my life.
What is to be spiritual, and what is spirituality?
For me, spirituality is believing that there is something greater than myself out there that's got your back. As I've been sharing before, for me, that's God. But others may have the universe, they may call it the ocean or the sun or nature. But I feel like being spiritual, it's important in life to have something greater than yourself who you can confide in and lean on and know that they have your back and always wants what's best for you.
How do you define success? What is to be successful to you?
Success would be celebrating all that you have accomplished, whether small or large. Again, small or large. And, success is to know in your heart that you gave it your all, you've done your best, and you can celebrate and just keep making movement forward. And to me, that's a win, no matter how big or small. It's also making a positive impact on others, perhaps with what I achieved, and as being an example for them. If I can do it, they can do it. And that could be directly or indirectly. For instance, with coaching clients, we often talk about how would it positively affect those that they are close to if they achieved a certain health goal. And I always hear from clients the positive impact that would have on their family. That makes me feel successful for the client and their family.
So, why did you choose to do what you do?
I've always loved the human body. And as a kid in school, all my science fairs were always about the human body, whether it was muscles, the skin, the bones, and I've always loved the human body, and I've always known as a little kid that I was going to do something in the health field. And for me then, that's what I chose to be a registered nurse, because I could make a really positive impact on helping patients and feel like I was really making a difference and live out my passion. And so that's what nursing does for me. And then I also spent a large portion of my nursing career as a GI nurse, a gastroenterology nurse. And where I am today with a gut health coach is because all those years I spent as a GI nurse in the office, I saw how the different types of gut diseases impacted my patients' lives. And coincidentally, I also had some of my own gut issues during that same time. And my doctor took very good care of me. But, I still had a lot of bloating, and plus a whole random host of other types of things going on with my gut. And overall, I just felt really crappy most of the time with abdominal pain, most days, more days than not for years. And, working for the doctor, like I said, I was well taken care of, and we took the route at that time that was available to me. And so for a number of years, I had tests, and I had prescription drugs and over-the-counter meds and elimination diets. And in essence, that was all pretty expensive, tiring, and only provided temporary relief, what I like to call bandaid fixes. And several years ago, I grew tired of the Band-Aid fixes because actually some of the fixes was perpetuating. I had to take antibiotics often, and as you may know, but if you don't, antibiotics can help, but they also harm your gut as well. So it was taking care of the problem, but also making it worse. And I just was done with that. So I started researching lifestyle modification, kind of like on a functional medicine level, and researched and began practicing a different type of dietary intake. I don't want to call it a diet, and it wasn't necessarily an elimination diet either, but a modification diet. Did things on stress reduction, and as I said, I was changing my relationships from unhealthy to healthy. I had to let go of some things, and I started to see positive changes, and the gut symptoms decreasing, and eventually over time, gone. The bloating, the abdominal pain, the nausea, the fear of eating. I didn't really like to eat before because it would hurt, but now I enjoy food again. And I don't take any antibiotics or any prescriptions for it anymore. And I don't live on an elimination diet. And now my gut is well. And in that process, my overall health improved with this too. And so then just a few years ago, I decided to extend my reach to others, and by becoming a certified health and life coach. So with my RN background and my GI background, I help women conquer their abdominal bloat, get their gut well, slim their waistline so they feel fabulous and confident in any outfit they put on. And mainly, I don't want women to suffer for years like I did. There is a way out there. They don't have to take the traditional route, and they can feel fabulous. So that's my mission. I just don't want women to suffer for as long as I did. There's no reason for it.
Talk to me for a moment about the services you offer.
Well, what I do is I help women 40 and over conquer their abdominal bloat and slim their waistline so they can feel fabulous and confident in any outfit they put on, and all this without feeling deprived of their favorite foods. And I have a coaching program. It's 1-to-1 private coaching. It's a 90-day program, so about 12 weeks. And it just rejuvenates their body, mind, and soul. And in doing this, focusing on conquering their abdominal bloat or slimming their waistline, which they also often have life goals to achieve, because I strongly believe you don't have health issues without life issues, and you don't have life issues without health issues. So the clients normally have 1 or 2 main health goals, but they're also have life goals that we work on. And with this improved overall health, because they're getting their gut well, they will find that their life improves. So like I said, I have one-to-one coaching. It's a 90-day program. I do also offer one-to-one coaching in, let's say, like off sessions for women who maybe went through the program and they have, just need a follow-up, or they have a question, a burning desire that they're really they feel stuck, and they need a little guidance and support. And then also for women who aren't necessarily in the coaching program, or this time isn't a good time for them to be in the program, but they need a little direction and a little support on one certain topic. And so I have those one-off sessions that I offer, and they are available as well. Another fun thing that I do is called The Gutsy Show with Coach Rachel. And those are Facebook Lives on my Facebook business page, Florida Guts Coaching. And those occur on the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And there's topics just related on gut health. And it's all about conquering your abdominal bloat and getting your gut well. So I have a variety of topics there, from gluten to hidden sugars to my secret de-bloat tea, how to stop bloat, and the list is growing.
Where can we find more information about you, your work, products, services, and future projects?
Well, you can find that on my website. That's www.floridaguts.com, and that's FLGUTZ. I'm also on LinkedIn at Florida Guts Coaching. And of course, my Facebook business page is Florida Guts, and for everything it's FLGUTZ. And then I have an Instagram account, Florida Guts Coaching. So pretty much all the same title there on those platforms. My future projects are, I'm going to be working on having recorded 12-week sessions on my website. And that offers women the chance to participate in getting their gut well, conquering their abdominal bloat, slimming their waistline, just like I talked about, on a recorded version, if they choose not to do live one-to-one. Also, I'm in the process of making workshops on certain topics, for instance, how to read a food label, because I find there's a lot of eye-opening when I talk about food labels at all. Clients are just astonished that what's actually in the food, some of their foods that they eat. So I'll be working on different workshops, and the first one I'm going to be doing is on how to read a food label, and then that course will be offered on my website.
We are almost at the end of our conversation, and I have 2 final questions for you. If you knew you would die soon, meaning losing the body, would you make any change in your life or do anything in a different way?
Well, I'd say the advice that I would give myself or do, if I could redo it as my younger self, is just to be true to myself and not to settle. And again, that denial, I wouldn't put so many things under the rug. I would be authentic and true to myself. And also, I would say to the younger Rachel that I am and will always be worthy.
What are 3 things about life you know for sure as of this moment?
3 things about my life I know for sure. Well, I am absolutely sure that I have a blessed life with a wonderful husband and family and friends that love me. So that would be number 1. Let's see. A second thing is I'm exactly where I'm meant to be in my journey of life. And I'm excited to be here. And number 3, although I'm not ready to go, I'm not afraid of dying. Because as I look at it, it's one less day I'm dying young.
Thank you so much for your presence, for sharing your wisdom and doing what you do.
Well, thank you so much for bringing me on your quest for well-being. I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to listening and hearing from others on your podcast. Thank you again.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Rachel Lank and her work, please visit flgutz.com.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.